Not producing today. That's what the problem is.
His papers. He's got his papers.
Yeah. It's like a voice from above. Hey, welcome to Bourbon and Badges, the podcast. And you are not misreading the screen. We have a guest on today. That is not Hound Dog. That is our man, Hillbilly.
Everybody thought Hound Dog got pretty.
Yeah, exactly right. We thought he upgraded. No, that's a special guest. Hillbilly. He worked in corrections in his career. Was a lieutenant, and he's got some cool stories. We're gonna talk to him a little bit about his career. But of course, Slow Ride, Dobie Dog, and Rodnator here. And you can't see him, you can't hear him, but he's fucking here. Hound Dog.
He's always in our ear.
He's producing, and he's in our ear, and we can see him, but you can't. So it's kind of fucking eerie.
Yeah, his job is keep us on track, make sure we quit on time and do what we need to do.
Yep. So
he's the producer tonight.
He's the producer tonight. So Slow might be a little bit, down in the dumps because he got ejected from his producer position. Yeah.
Yeah, Hound Dog just said
fired.
Yeah. He came on, so I'm gonna produce tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well, Hillbilly, welcome to the show, man. Give our listeners a little brief background about you, please.
Well, I live in Shorewood, Illinois. It's about 30 miles south of Chicago, but I'm originally from Southern Illinois, the country, kind of like some of you guys. Went to Army and right out of high school, basically, and was an MP. And then 1992, I had a knot on my chest right here. I don't know if you can say it or not, but and I was in Germany. I'd been over for 4 years. So I didn't want to go to the doctor over there. So when I was on leave to my next duty station, I went to my local doctor and found out that I had cancer. Had a tumor the size of a baseball in my chest. And
went down to the show down, man.
Right. Well, I went down to Scott Air Force Base and got treated for that for about a year. And then the Army wouldn't let me stay in. So in 93, I started Illinois Department of Corrections.
Nice.
At
working,
the old
right?
Joliet.
Not in you actually working. You weren't like in prison.
No, that's my brother.
Yeah, the brother down.
All families got that shit. You got the one guy enforcing the law. You got the other guy breaking the law, man. That's just how it goes.
Well, what's messed up is my brother did corrections with the badge before I did.
Oh no shit!
Oh, really?
Huh?
So it's in the family.
And then a woman kind of made him crazy, and he started dealing meth and stuff, and got locked up.
That woman make a man crazy. That never happens.
Right?
That's a weird story. I never heard that before. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I started in 93 at the old Joliet prison. Made sergeant in 97, and my lieutenant in 2001. But I moved from the Joliet prison to Stateville in 2001 for a lieutenant spot.
Nice. Yeah, good deal. I tell you how this came about is, man, we had our Renegade Pig, the motorcycle club we belong to, Hound Dog and I, and Hillbilly. And we're in North Myrtle Beach at our conference, and we're out back having some bourbon, some cigars, and Hillbilly and I was talking to some man. Yeah, we talked about being on the show for the longest time.
But you never told me.
Well,
checks in the mail, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right. I know, right?
I said, well, so we need to make this happen. So, man, that's how we all came about, got you on the show. We appreciate you being here.
Some of that Knobs Creek sponsorship money.
Yeah.
Speaking of Knobs Creek, what we're drinking tonight, boys, because I started this bottle at the conference, and I'm about to finish it up.
No,
in the bottle.
You wouldn't have that. No.
Yeah, not you.
I'm surprised our producer didn't say something about that.
I'm waiting.
So what are you guys drinking?
I'm doing the Angel's
Envy.
Yeah. What the hell with it? Oh, let me tell one other thing before we move on. I'm also drinking from my glass my kid got me. MAGA Dad.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Nice. Hey, don't hurt Hillbilly's feelings.
You ain't gonna hurt mine. You saw my sign yesterday.
I gotta say, yeah, where's your sign at, man? You should have that handy.
Hold on. Stand by.
Hold on, he's gonna get it.
Feelings, what's that?
Yeah. Feelings.
Now you talk about family and one that I had got locked up for hanging dogs. imagine.
Man, we need that for the show.
I like it. Does not play well with liberals. Nice.
Do you want one, Slow?
Well, we need one of them for the podcast.
Now, if he puts one up, his fucking neighbors will fucking lynch him and shit. He doesn't do that.
Well, he just disappeared. You see that? Boom. He just disappeared.
That's one thing about here. If I put it up around here, most people are going to agree with me.
Yeah, this place there's more. I don't think they're liberals. There's a few liberals on the mountain, but most of them are Democrats, but they're Democrats with, moderate. They're moderate Democrats. They're not the
I'm dog sitting.
left wing.
Let me tell you something. There's Democrats, and they're all the fucking same these days. There ain't no moderate Democrats. They're all crazy, just like your neighbor attacked you for fucking just whatever you said. Like, it's crazy.
Oh,
They're fucking crazy. Check it out there, Hillbilly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. That's on the motorcycle trip. So I actually visited where you used to work, brother.
What year was that?
Dude. 2022. 2022.
Oh, really, man?
Yeah.
Slow should have told you to hit me up, man. I could have gave you a tour of Stateville, too.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know. Yeah.
Well, actually, probably not because of COVID.
I was up there, five other cops who went across the country on Route 66. So we started up there, of course, in Chicago. And so we had to visit the Juliet prison for the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood. It's awesome. But anyway, go ahead, guys.
Double D, what are you drinking?
I had the good stuff.
Eagle Rare.
10 year.
Eagle
Yeah.
Rare. I came across a good little stash. They were buying Colonel Taylor and Blanton's and Eagles Rare.
Nice.
That I'd never had Colonel Taylor, but that stuff.
That E.H. Standard small batch is good, isn't it?
Taylor
Yeah.
is
Hound Dog fixed me up with 2 bottles of that. I can't get it up here, but he fixed me up 2 bottles of that down there at the conference. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff. First time I'd ever had it.
Nice. What you drinking, Hillbilly? Beers or what do you got going on?
Yeah, I can't do bourbon, man.
That's okay.
Well, most women can't.
Oh, hell. Man. Shots fired.
Hey, that's cool. That's all right.
Hey, if you were on the tier, you'd be getting your ass whooped right fucking now. We putting the boots to you.
What were you drinking out there by the pool when all was sitting out there with cigars and drinking? What was that?
Beer?
Beer? I didn't even notice.
No, you're thinking of Pat Kelly.
No, you and I were sitting there talking about this. We've actually been on the podcast, and Pat was sitting there and a couple other guys, and that was a good time. That was a very good conference.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's get the show started. Hillbilly, I got a couple questions for you, brother, because I did a little bit of corrections, but in the jail setting only, never a prison. In prison, major league, jail's minor league, but still a bunch of pain in the ass shit. But well, you guys, my first question is, over your career, was it the same as? Well, I only did 2 years. Mine was lock away behind bars for the first 6 months. And then they transitioned into direct supervision. And I also came on in 93 like you. So in Mecklenburg County, I worked in the jail where you lock them behind the gate and you open the trap to see if anybody's dead and shit like that and serve food through the trap door. And then I went to direct supervision where I'm in a pod with 50 guys walking all over the fucking place. They got their own rooms and keys and full court basketball and TVs and all that shit. How was your experience? How did it start? And when you were finishing up, was it direct supervision like us, or is prisons is it lock away type of shit?
Well, I was only in max joints.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a little more strict.
Yeah.
So we didn't have day rooms or nothing like
explain,
that.
Explain to our listeners what you mean by that.
So, well, the rule back in the 90s and before was if you had more than 20 years to do, you had to do it in a max joint. And over the years in the mid 2000s, it started getting, or early 2000s, whatever, it started getting watered down. And they were sending people with a life sentence to medium and minimum joints.
Right.
Because of, Illinois is a very liberal state, unfortunately.
And they're getting soft. They're soft on crime.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They've learned their lesson a couple times about that.
That's sad. Most of the time, the people in the medium and low security, when they get these major league criminals, they pay the price, because they're not prepared. They're not set up to house them, really. If some of these guys are, my thought was this: when a guy would come back on a double murder appeal to the jail, and I was dealing with him, I was very wary. I was 22 years old, you know. I was trying to make people 40 years old who killed people make their bed. I mean, it's a fucking mess. But anyway, these guys would come back and I'd know that's the one I got to watch because killing me's free. You know, he's never getting out. He's already done. You know, he's going to be in jail the rest of his life. So he could kill me for free and probably get some bonus points for killing a sheriff's deputy. You know what I'm saying? And
and that's the biggest difference I think between county jail and a prison because they've already been convicted. And most of them know they're not going to win an appeal, so they don't have a whole lot to lose.
Yep.
I had a real hard time transitioning from the Army being an MP. And when I told people to do something, they did it.
Right.
And then I started working at a prison, and I would tell these guys to do it, and they'd be like, fuck you or whatever. And, you know, I wanted to fight all of them, But I had a lieutenant who's now the Grundy County Sheriff, Kim Briley. He pulled me aside and he said, you got to understand something. You know, when you was in the Army, people was there because they wanted to be. And these guys here, they got nothing to lose. They got 80 years, 100 years, life, whatever. You know, so it took a minute for me to.
Yeah, that's the thing because I would walk into the jail setting when I went to direct. When it was behind bars, it was a different ball game. Like I was okay. I like that a lot better. But when it went to direct supervision, it really gets tested because they can get you anytime they want. You're one guy against
most
50,
definitely.
You have no weapons because they could take it from you. So you're totally defenseless. You got your gift of gab. You got some fucker making $8 an hour watching you on the camera. You know, hopefully he's watching the camera and not taking a shit or fucking off talking to one of the other female deputies and not watching you get your ass whooped. That was your only thing, plus your radio. You know, if you could get to the radio, but if they took your radio and nobody's watching, it could be a long day. You know, I remember coming back in after a shift, and we used to have pods. So it was a G&H pod with the trouble pods for us, and I was a decent at the job, so they put me in either G&H all the time. But once we got if this is correct with you, is why I'm asking. I would be in the same pod, and I got used to the guys, their personalities and stuff, and I had the pod running pretty good, the way Farley wants the pod run, you know. And they switched me to H pod. I was like, I just got my guys, you know, kind of dialed in, right? And they go, well, we had a little problem last night. I go, what? Well, we had a riot, and they tried to kill the deputy in there. They locked him. They beat him up, put him in his closet.
Well, good for you.
Took his keys, got him in the stairwell, and then he couldn't get out. And we kicked the shit out of him, put him in solitary. But now the pod's all up, and they just had a riot. So we just calmed him down. We need somebody in there to. I said, oh, really? Shit sandwich. See, whenever you did good in the job I had, you would get the shit sandwich because.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm talking about? When you were good, when you did a good job, you got the tough job. When you did a shitty job, you got the kitty pod, or you got the, was that the kind of the same thing with you guys? Because I know you had tiers, right? Tiers.
We call them galleries, and I had some pictures, but I'm on the phone now, so I can't send them to you. But yeah. So if you're a shithead, they didn't want you in the crucial spots, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, not like there's a spot that isn't crucial. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
But I was in a lot of high aggression units and segregation a lot, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But then walk us through your day, man. What your typical day? Walk us through that.
Well, on a 7 to 3 shift, the first thing you do is count, and so lieutenant ain't doing nothing then but seeing what's going on for the day and stuff. You know, if we got cell moves or whatever. But right after count. Then we started feeding. We shift was 7 to 3, so we started feeding lunch right after we got done counting. So usually done about 8 or 8:30, and then after that they started running their school lines or church lines or yard lines or whatever, and then pretty much did that all day long, back and forth, because different units would go to yard or school at different times. You know, so you had to move these guys in, move these guys out, stuff like that, you know. It was fun, I'm telling you. It was a blast.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's good you can say that because you know what? I preferred my second half, well, the majority of my career on the street more than I did being in the jail. Now, prison might have been a different experience for me, but the jail was really not for me. I really didn't enjoy it at all. We had 12 to 12 shifts, 7 to 7. So you either work 7 to 7 during the day or 7 to 7 at night. It was like 5 days one week, 2 days the next. It was just, I don't know, just, you're sitting there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and these guys have access to their doors. They can come out, it just constant. I equate it to like a daycare for bad kids.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Right? You're dealing with just, I need another toothbrush.
Sounds like this show.
Yeah, exactly. I gave you 4 last week. I need another toothbrush. What are you doing with them? Sticking them here? Like, it's just always something. They're always pulling on you, draining you, watching you. The old distraction. They get you distracted down here. And some guy's hanging himself up there. It was always some shit. Same. Is that the same with the prison system?
Oh yeah. Well, and see, when I started in '93, corrections was kind of dumb. First of all, the gangs were running the prisons back then.
What kind of gangs in Illinois was back then? Is it the white, black, and
as a matter of fact, I tell you, one of the stupidest things ever was when I first got to Joliet prison. They had the Northsiders in one, like, cells 10 to 20 or whatever. Then they would have the Latin Kings. Then they would have the BDs, the GDs, and all these other. They put them all together and they organized like crazy, Right. So then, plus they gave them soup cans and everything else, so they could make shanks so easy it wasn't even funny.
Oh yeah.
And like you were talking about toothbrushes, they used to have the long toothbrushes. They used to make shanks out of them all the time.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And when they would come in, they would have to interview them and find out who they're with, who they have problems with, in order to keep them from being put in. Because you put a Latin King in with the Black Gorilla family, and he's dead. So they have to really.
Well, it wasn't really like that. It wasn't really like that with us. The Latin Kings, as long as it wasn't a pedophile, they would be okay.
Oh, okay.
But they women's crimes against women, and pedophiles in the '90s, the Latin gangs period didn't mess with it. They would be the ones to get on the yard or whatever, and they come back with a black eye or something.
Okay, they wouldn't tolerate. So it is true. We always heard that pedophiles and child molester type people have a tough time in jail and prison. I said, Shay, and that is true.
It was true.
Okay,
it's not true anymore.
Okay, do they segregate those fuckers all together to keep them safe? Is that what happens now?
No. Okay. So if Slow Ride's a pedophile,
easy.
When he gets locked, right?
It's just a rooster, I promise.
And when he comes to prison, he can decide he wants to go to protective custody or not. So if he wants to be in general population,
I'm a woman. I want to go.
That's
to
on him.
Prison.
We dealt with that too.
Okay.
But that was later.
I identify as Hound Dog, so I should go to women's prison.
Yeah.
Hound Dog, you have a comment? I could let the folks know for that. Hound Dog asked if
I got it.
Prisoners. I got to tell it to the.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hound Dog asked if when the first gangbangers came into the prison, were they upfront and honest about their affiliations and who they ran with?
In the '90s, yes. In the '90s they were, until they started looking for chiefs and everything. They didn't really have an intel unit back in the '90s. Maybe the late '90s it started. So that's when, the intelligence officers started figuring out this guy's running this mob and this one's running this mob. So we got to keep these guys separate and stuff. So, like, if Hound Dog and Slow Ride were in the same gang, they wouldn't admit it, so that they could sell together and it would be easier for them. Because when we started separating the gangs.
I got you. But that could work both ways now, couldn't it? Because if I say I'm not in the same gang as Slow Ride, you guys put me in with some folks who I don't get along with, that could be a problem too. So they had to kind of walk a fine line with what they told you, right? Because they don't want to end up.
No, I mean, it wasn't. No, it was more, pretty much it was, they kind of minded their own business as long as they didn't step on each other's toes, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're getting away, if you're a GD and you're getting in the way of Latin Kings, then there's going to be a problem. But if you just mind your own business, no matter what's going on in that cell, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. GD is Gangster Disciples.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. BDs are Black Disciples. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so our listeners know, we know some of that, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So
and as far as you guys shift work, you said 7 to 3. Was it 3 shifts? So there's always 8-hour shifts?
yeah, it was 7 to 3, 3-11, and 11 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
7 a.m.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
No, I mean, when I made lieutenant, it took me like 5 years to get on day shift, but
right.
Once I got there, it was good. It sucked being on 3 to 11.
Day shift or nights?
When you talk about shifts, I'm sure you kind of encounter different problems depending on what shift. Is there one shift that was harder as far as how dealing with the prisoners? Is more problems?
That's okay. So like 7 to 3, there was more movement. So you had more inmates out, but on the 3-11 afternoon shift, you had fewer staff. So it made it more difficult, if you understand what I'm saying. Right. So
sure.
Makes sense.
When you had 20 people doing the same job on 7 to 3, moving a line from point A to point B, you might only have a total of 10. And Stateville is 66 acres inside. It's a pretty big place.
Yeah.
So we had to move them all over the place. Before they started closing units, it was, I want to say about 4,000, 3,500. It varied, but yeah, 3,500, 4,000. Because they were all double celled.
And that's with 22
2 to a cell. 2 to a cell.
Yes. You had very few of them that were single celled. It's funny you asked that because I told you the gangs were running the prisons until 1997. In 97, I don't know if you guys remember who Richard Speck is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but tell our audience.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. Who is that?
He killed, I don't know how many nurses. But,
serial killer, Richard Speck.
Yeah, he was a serial killer. I think it was UIC Chicago. But he had boobs and everything. And when Larry Hoover got busted at Stateville, which is an incredible documentary if you haven't seen it. Larry Hoover was the GD chief. Have you guys seen that documentary?
I've heard.
I haven't seen the documentary, but
I gotta watch it. It was good.
You need to watch it because what they did. I'm sorry.
Wasn't Hoover one of the founding members of Gangster Disciples?
Yes, he was. But they busted the way he
Double D being all that intelligent.
He was running the streets from Stateville as a chief, and then
how's that possible? He can do that.
Well, because his gang members would come visit him, or wives or girlfriends, and he would send messages that way. So what the feds did, they gave the clip-on visitor passes, and they were bugged. Oh. And that's how they got him. So he would be telling, whatever chief to do this and do that, and that's how he was running it. Yeah. Check out that documentary. It's really good.
Larry Hoover.
It's on Netflix.
I couldn't tell you for sure, but it's good. Just
I bet our producer is looking it up right now.
Is the title of the show Larry Hoover? Is that the name of the documentary, or is it something?
It might Larry Hoover, Gangster Disciples.
Something like that. Okay, yeah, I'll figure it out.
So that was about 96 when Hoover got busted from prison.
Got busted in prison from doing what he was doing, or he went to prison?
No, he was already in prison.
He was in prison,
and he got busted
for running shit from in there.
Yeah, and then the feds took him to Colorado to the prison. Yep, those guys.
To the underground, right? The big Fed facility that's underground?
Yeah. They just let him out of there.
He's out?
Yeah, Trump commuted his sins or whatever. I don't know where he's at now.
Because he's old as shit, right? Is that why?
Yeah, he's like 80, I think.
Okay,
Didn't they get up and running in like the 70s or late 60s when he first started?
I don't know that information.
Yeah, it's been on. He was older, much older.
Yeah, I think he was in the 70s. Yeah. When he's running shit.
But what happened was once they busted him, he decided he was going to embarrass the state of Illinois, and they put a video out that inmates made in Stateville, and it had Richard Speck on there drinking wine and with his boobs and everything, and they just basically humiliated the governor and director of the Department of Corrections.
Really?
So in let me see, it was about March or April of '97. I was on a tactical unit back then. It's like you guys are SWAT, but we don't carry guns unless it's extreme. And we took 150 TAC members into Stateville and 32 canines. And we found
Adobe dogs.
We found all kinds.
But the canines.
Yeah, you turned it upside down, didn't you?
Oh yeah, big time. And it was just crazy the stuff they was allowed to have, like cases upon cases of water, which you don't think nothing about it, but
yeah,
everything's supposed to be restricted and it wasn't.
Oh,
so
wow.
we had X-ray machines on the bottom floor, so we carry all the mattresses down. I think it was 17 shanks they found in one mattress.
That must be an uncomfortable sleep.
Mattress.
I'd like to sleep on 17
one mattress. Yeah.
Don't roll over the wrong way.
Ow.
And one of our canines, Van Hoven, he had a dog. I can't remember his name. He was a Rottweiler, great canine dog. And the crooks, before we took him out, and we didn't know it, wired the floor to where when the dog came in, or us, we'd step on that and get shocked. And a canine, that Rottweiler, stepped on it and shocked the shit out of him. And he jumped up on the bed after he got shocked.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Those fuckers are, that's the thing I always realized. They have all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 300, to plan and to scheme how to do this or how to do that, that's all they do all day because there's nothing else for them to do, Is that what you found too? Yeah, they just.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? What's more crazy to me is these guys, they're not just dumbasses. You know what I mean? A lot of them are extremely intelligent. Mm-hmm. If they would have focused their energy elsewhere, they could have been anything.
That's what I say all the time. If they spend as much time doing legal shit with their brain pan instead of illegal shit, they'd be making good money, maybe millionaires, and they'd be living life. But instead, they keep trying to game the system illegally, and they keep just getting caught, or they get the big sentence. But you're right, man. A lot of them are very intelligent.
And the other thing about that is they get too greedy. So in the 90s, if you had $2 million in the 90s, you're a game banger, you could disappear with $2 million in the 90s and wouldn't have to worry about nothing.
Right.
But they don't. They just keep, addicted to it or whatever,
Yeah. I used to tell the kids in the kiddie pod, you never retire a successful criminal. You just don't. You're either dead or in prison it's
or broke.
Yeah, it just never works out. 99% of the time. I'm sure you could find me somebody who survived it, but very few ever just,
Oh yeah.
Even the big drug cartel guys now are getting fucking killed and shot or caught and locked up. And and what's their money good for them now? It's not. They're fucking locked up. It's just terrible.
Like you think about these game bangers, most of them, they don't live that long. A 30-year-old,
right,
kind of like this bottle,
game banger,
man down,
is old if they're still on the street.
Yeah,
right.
They
got a better chance in prison of living up. Yeah, yep.
Oh yeah. Damn, you're right.
But like you said, but those cartel bosses, all they got to do is stop and give it to somebody else. They got billions.
They got
billions.
Yeah. What? Just like some of these, not change the subject, but like Maduro in Venezuela. He could have just left and got sanctuary in fucking Colombia with all his billions and just lived the rest of his life. But he had to stay, try to tempt fate. And now he's in a fucking New York prison waiting. I would have left with my billions and said, man, it was a good run, but I'm out. I'm going to go stay.
Yeah, but can you really get out though? I mean, gangbanger, you got $2 million. Hey guys, I watched all these homicides. You guys, we committed. We robbed all these people. Guess what? I'm out. I'm leaving. Can you trust that guy to leave and go away and not say anything?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I know with enough money I'd disappear, and they couldn't.
Exactly. El Chapo, you don't think he could have left? Yeah, exactly. You don't think El Chapo? Yeah.
Probably billions.
With the money he has, he could have security and leave. Plus, he's got the protection of whatever government says he can stay there. Like fucking a bunch of people are in Russia right now. Like if you got Snowden's in Russia, the guy gave up all the secrets on. Yeah, he's there living. He's living fine there. I mean, you can get away from your life in these other countries.
And they're not only living; they're living very well off.
Yeah, they're living.
Oh yeah.
But I would have took the money and shit. I took. These guys get too power hungry in their head. And I think with Maduro's problem was he saw so many American presidents fizzle out and not follow through with shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't expecting a Trump
paper
to come
tigers
along and say, you challenging me? Okay. And then send the people in the middle of the night, snatch him up out of his Huggy and fucking take him to fucking, take him to that's incredible. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say is I know when I was working in the jail, there was different places you could work. And one was intake. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, intake was fucking terrible if you got the job of dressing these motherfuckers out because you're laughing already because you get them off the street, whether they're homeless, they're just nasty, dirty, whatever. And you got these guys, 30 guys in a room, they strip naked and put their clothes in bags. And you got to take the bags and seal them and write their name on them. And it smells like asses, feet, and balls.
Yep.
And it's just
disgusting.
Terrible.
It's like a cloud.
It's like a cloud. I had like 15 bottles of spray, and then another guy would come. Holy shit! Like it was constant. That's one place I didn't enjoy working. Is that the same place? You get them all, or they cleaned up when they get there?
No, they're disgusting. I mean, the ones that want to be clean are clean. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's so many of them that don't give a damn. But back in the 90s again, Cook County would bring us 300 crooks every Friday, 300 or more. And we would have to process them. They brought a dude in one time. This dude had to be homeless, and he had this kind of dreads. There was cockroaches and stuff all in his dreads.
No shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, that dude was so disgusting, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the other thing I always noticed that to this day, fucking nightmares, their feet. Some of these guys' feet, boy, their toes look like this. This is their toes on one foot. Like if they're all entwined and shit, and the nails so long it's curling like under, and they're yellow.
Stop it! You're making me hungry.
Oh jeez.
Hey, so it's like terrible, on TV, like Sylvester Stallone went to prison and showed him like go in this room and they sprayed him down with all this delousing stuff. Does that really happen or?
No. I mean, if you went to healthcare or whatever, because they had this, it was kind of infrared or whatever, and then when you walk through it, they could tell there was bugs on you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's more. It's a kinder, gentler delousing process now because of all these rules and regulations and lawsuits. They can't just throw you in, strip you down, and throw lice in you like Shawshank Redemption style. And
with the water cannon.
Yeah, the water cannon, not nailing you in the balls and laughing. So they can't do that anymore. Yeah, that's not true anymore. I know that because when they were in ours, they'd have to get showers. We make them take a shower on their own.
Oh, you want them to? Shit.
No, absolutely. But I didn't hose them down. I didn't do shit. I didn't go near them. I said, that way, motherfucker. And then they would lead them into the showers and they would shower and we get them jumpsuits and then send them up, man. But it was just a assembly line of nastiness. And intakes, I'd rather work within the jail without intake. I don't want to be an intake. It was terrible.
Yeah, tell me this, but it is at first. I know you probably grew accustomed to it, but at first, was it a weird feeling knowing that you're locked in? You hear these doors shut behind you, and the reason I ask you that is, Dopey Dog and I, we used to be on K9 together, and they'd pull us in like 5 a.m. in the morning, bring the dogs in, and we'd shake the unit down. But it's just a funny feeling. You go into that pod, boom, the door shut behind you, boom, you're locked in. You know you're leaving, but still, it was a funny, weird feeling.
No, I never, experienced anything like that. It just, I was like, well, it's a job, But I remember my first day, I had his sergeant in the West Cell House, and I was on afternoon shift, and he gave me these keys, and he said, "Go let 3 Gallery out, put him on standby for chow." I said, "Where's 3 Gallery?" So he told me where 3 Gallery was. I got the door open, and I'm looking at these keys, and the inmate tells me, "Come here. The ones that say FC, that's for the front cells, because there was 40 cells on the gallery."
He knew it.
Yeah.
And the ones that say BC, that's for the back cells. And the inmate taught me that. No
He's
officer
thinking, all
did.
right, we
That's
got
my
an
point.
FNG here.
They study everything. They know everything.
That's all they have time to do.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that. So when I made sergeant and lieutenant, I made sure that the officers that worked with me never had that issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make sure that I want the inmates to teach them as little as possible.
Yeah.
You know.
When we had them locked away, the keys would have tape on them, different color tape, which told the inmates which ones worked too. You know,
You never change the color around, like 1 month something's red or next month's blue.
No.
And to go along with what you say, when they have time to think, they also have time to work out.
Oh yeah.
Conditions.
Oh yeah.
And I remember one time I worked for a brief stint as about 3 years as a probation officer, and one of the things we did was with some of the judge would say, "Hey, a part of your probation, you have to go tour the prison." Kind of a scare them out of going to, scare them straight kind of deal. And I remember going in there, and one of the guys that was talking, one of the inmates, that dude was jacked. He was 6'3", 230. And he said when he came in, he was about 170 pounds.
Yep.
And he just bulked up, and they go in there, and they train, they work out, they work on. And I've been told that some of the seminars I went to, they'll go in there and they'll train how to defeat officers, how to attack officers.
Oh yeah.
They'll also train, and I've been told they teach them how to evade this capture from running from dogs. They teach that to each other in prison. So they come out just that much more difficult to deal with.
I've seen videos, and I know Hillbilly knows better than I do, but I've seen videos where they have video of the guys on the yard showing guys putting their hands up on the wall like they're getting patted down, and the inmate will come in and pat another inmate down. The guy will turn around and stab him, they show you how to drop the guy's arms and stab him in the neck, or something like that, or go for his eye. Like they train that stuff.
You guys are depressing me.
Dude,
so
it was terrible. I didn't like it. I know Hillbilly did. I was just like, man.
I remember early on in my career, a friend of mine back when I worked probation, he had a picture at his desk, and it said it set in, it sunk into me from day one. It's on the caption said, "Remember, every day you don't work out, someone else is." And it had a picture of this massive jacked up dude doing squats, and it said IDOC. And from my understanding, that was Illinois Department of Corrections. And the whole point of it was this guy's getting jacked, and that's who you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
I know for 30 years when I was on, that's why to this day I still try to stay in shape, because a couple of times it kind of saved my ass, whether it would be my wind, keeping my wind, being able to stay in the fight a little bit longer, waiting for those sirens to catch up.
Yeah.
You grab a hold of that one motherfucker the wrong way, and you feel like, oh shit, this is going to be a fucking bull right here.
Oh yeah.
And,
you
know what I mean? You come here, pal. Oh shit. But you're already committed, right? You're committed.
Hey, let me tell you right now, if you worked the street, you did not want to deal with a roofer, because those guys were fit.
Or a bricklayer. They had this one bricklayer would come in all the time on a drunk. He was a really nice guy. Couldn't fingerprint him. His prints were gone. So all he did was fucking lay brick all day, and it just wore his fingerprints off. We knew who he was, but his hands were massive, and he was just strong. But yeah, construction guys, but I'll tell you, the prison guys, that's the thing, because that's all they do all day is eat and work out, and there's nothing else to do. That's
and the state is required to give them a balanced diet.
Oh, sure. They sue for everything in the state. Hell, Muslims sue for their diet. They sued. One guy, I saw one federal case where a guy sued. He said he needs to learn martial arts. It's his religion. And they actually gave him martial art lessons. I mean, it's incredible the shit they do. Yeah. The diets they want and the things they sue for, they have nothing better to do. They have nothing better to do.
I read a case where a guy, he sued because he couldn't financially support himself because he wasn't allowed to continue to conduct his business and have his regular income that he had prior to prison. That income in that business was selling drugs. He couldn't make his money selling drugs in prison, so he sued.
Did he win?
I don't know if he won or not, but the bad thing about it is somebody's got to filter through that bullshit and say it's bullshit or not bullshit.
You know how many times I had to go to court downtown Chicago? You ever been in downtown Chicago at the Dirksen building? Oh, my God.
I went to downtown Chicago to take a picture of the Route 66 sign that said begins here. And then I got the fuck out of there. I didn't stay long in Chicago.
Yeah. I had to go to court more times after I retired than I did when I was working.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, did you get compensated for that?
Well, I mean, you could have put a bunch of paperwork in I just said, forget it,
Yeah. You were a witness
defendant.
Or a defendant? I don't say were you a witness or a defendant?
I was a defendant every time, every single time. Lost one case for over $1 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's because the liberal jury and judge, because the attorney general represents us, and they try to get a change of venue.
Wait to get the bill for this podcast.
I'm broke.
You'll be a defendant again soon. Don't worry. So
no.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to tell a story, but go ahead if you got something to finish up.
No, this black dude was in with the Latino in F House, which was a super crazy place. I wish I could take you guys there, but and he was in a cell with the Latino. Now, I don't know what you know about the Latin gangs, but they don't play any kind of gay stuff.
No, they don't.
And this dude said,
"Respect, Dobie." Go ahead.
This guy said that he was raped by this dude that was like a third his size. And he said that he told me and my sergeant that he was getting raped, and we didn't do anything about it, which is a complete lie. But because of being a liberal jury and a liberal judge, they gave him over $1 million.
No shit, that's crazy. Did they do any tests on him? Any rape kits? Any of that shit? Was there any evidence of his ass being torn?
No, there was no evidence whatsoever, and he didn't report it. He didn't report it until he transferred to another joint like a year later.
So he was getting raped, didn't report it, and then he was safe from the rape in another prison, and then he reports it.
Yep.
Then he gets $1 million.
Well, you just gave his whole defense up, man. You just told his whole defense.
No, we tried that. Trust me.
Damn. Yeah. The jury. That's a problem with the system today. Juries, they just you get the wrong jury, and they have sympathy because the poor person that did whatever he did had a bad childhood, or the big bad white police officer was there mean to him. It's always something with race or some kind of bullshit.
They said he didn't mean to do it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and we had another one. Me and my sergeant, man, I had the best. Me and my sergeant was we were probably the baddest sergeant lieutenant team in the whole state of Illinois. Nice. The inmates couldn't focus. No, I mean nobody could focus with us. Not administration, nobody. I mean it was great working with him. So if a crook would mess up or whatever, we would handle it, and we would try to do things the right way, but sometimes you had to be creative.
Sure.
Sure.
So
this one dude, his name's Jeeves, who was in prison for killing his twin kids when they were like a year old or something. He was on death row until they got rid of it in Illinois.
They commuted it, right? Yep.
But yeah, they completely got rid of it. And he was just a nuisance inmate, you know what I'm saying? So a nurse came over who was actually my wife. Nobody knew it at the time. But he got contact solution like once a week, but he was hoarding it. And when she asked him for his...
What do you mean contact solution? What is that? Oh, for actual contacts?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I misunderstood what you're saying.
Well, you think it was lube for like butt sex, contact solution?
I don't know.
Oh, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Slow in the Rainbow Mountain, baby. Just continue, Hillbilly. Just forget it.
No, but he wouldn't give my wife the other tube of it. He was, you're supposed to give one and get one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So me and Sarge decided, we knew he had a bunch of stuff in his cell that he wasn't supposed to have, but it wasn't bothering us, so we wasn't really too worried about it because just wasn't worried about it. But now you want to be an asshole. Now we got to be assholes.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in there and took everything out of his cell. So on video, it shows us just throwing stuff out of his cell. I mean, it looked like the garbage people would come and just started throwing shit out. I mean, it was a lot of shit.
You're evicting his ass. It's just throwing shit.
Oh my God, yeah. So I mean, it looked bad. It was legitimate, but it looked really bad. So when they showed that in court, I mean, it looked, even to me, it looked bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah,
it's like one of those things, you know. You do a use of. Okay, so depending upon who's filming, tell me this isn't true, guys. Depending upon who's filming, if it's a liberal or a conservative type person filming a police encounter, the liberal will always film it after the liberal suspect smacks the officer and spits in his face. They start filming when the officer's wearing that motherfucker out, you know, on the ground, going, "Look at this abuse. He didn't do it."
They never film the action, just a reaction.
That's right. And then, of course, the other way, you see the whole thing, but they always do that, and it's, you know, that's always what happens, depending upon who's recording what, you know. But sometimes, like you say, Hillbilly, man, it's just, you know, like I always told my guys when I got on the street, I said, better to hit somebody once really hard than 15 times really light, because it just looks better. Oh, that officer just hit him once, and you fucking broke his jaw.
Either way, it's use of force. If you smack him like a little girl, or if you not hit him like a man, still use of force.
But I'm saying, if it goes to court and there's witnesses, that officer punched him in the face 15 times, or that officer just hit him once. No, even if it was a haymaker, boom! You know, they're like, he just hit him once. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Well,
one hit,
and that's another thing about it being at Stateville and the whole Illinois Department of Corrections, because like you're on the street, you get an altercation with a dude, and you can knock the shit out of him and hope it's over with. If we punch a dude, we're in trouble. So the use of force, even though it says, you know, the paradigm hasn't changed in I don't know how many years, you know, but you can't, word, by the way. You can't do it right. but you cannot, you can't just punch an inmate.
Wow. See, that's a bad thing too, because you know,
hitting the paradigm 20 cents.
Hound Dog, look up paradigm for slow ride. He doesn't have his fucking
paradigms. That's 20 cents, man.
Paradigms. Oh my God, we've done. Anyway, so I got a story. So I had, speaking of inmates bulking up, you remember Henry Wallace, the serial killer in Charlotte, killed, strangled all those nurses and all those Taco Bell ladies. Well, he went to jail when I was there. I think I told you guys about it, but Hillbilly, he doesn't know about it. He went in at 180 pounds. When he went away to prison after his conviction, he was 320. 320. And he just kept eating trays, double trays.
Oh, yeah. I got to go with that, yeah.
Because he was killing black women. And he was about to go to Central Prison, where there's some folks up there who were related to, knew, friend of a friend, whatever. And they were waiting on him. And so he was. Yeah, he was also black, but didn't matter. You kill a bunch of women, I think, like Hillbilly was saying, I think he was thinking he was going to have a hard time for family members, distant cousins, whatever the fuck, when he got to Central Prison. So he went out. When I saw him go out, he was shuffling around, out of breath. 320. I was like, oh, my God. And he was only 6'1", 6'2".
I thought you meant he bulked up, but he just fattened up.
He fattened. I'm sorry, the word's fattened up, but he put on.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. Not muscle. He was just big.
No, we had a dude.
He thought that would help.
Go ahead.
I think he thought that was going to help him up there. I don't know how it turned out, but whatever.
Yeah, the fat ain't going to help you.
Yeah. They just move the rolls around.
Just give you booze, man.
So on the backside of Stateville is the reception center. Right. You know, and they had an inmate out there. Eugene Andrews is his name. His nickname was Junkyard. And I think he was a GD, but I can't remember. But he was whooping people at the reception center. So I was a seg lieutenant in F House, and they brought him over to F House because he was causing too many problems with the inmates out there. And I said, look, Andrews, you know, whatever happened out there, I don't care about, you know, as long as you're cool here, you ain't got nothing to worry about. He said, I don't know what you're talking about, Lieutenant. I said, okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So we put him in with this dude who was a pain in the ass all the time, right? It wasn't a day, and that guy shut up. He just stopped giving the staff hard time and everything. So that guy went on a court writ, so he went out, you know, to fight his case or new case or whatever he was doing. and Andrews was still in that cell. So I called the girl that moved the inmates around, and I said, "Hey, we got another problem inmate in such and such cell. Can you put him in there?" She said, "Sure," because I couldn't just make the moves myself. Mm-hmm. So we put him in with that dude. He stopped being a problem. We did this about 3 or 4 inmates, and then probably the 5th one, Andrews was going on a court writ, and when
right quick, explain to our listeners what's a court writ.
When an inmate has to go to court, like for an appeal or whatever else, or child support or anything else.
Yeah.
All
right. So the staff from Stateville have to put them in a van and take them to whatever courthouse it is, so they can do whatever court business they got to do. Mm-hmm. So Andrews was on a court writ. He went out, and his cellmate fell on the ground outside the cell, and he's just shaking and stuff. So we called a med tech to come check him out. And she said, "There's nothing wrong with him." And I said, "Well, I can't just leave him here if he's acting like this, because he's slobbering and all this stuff." I said, "You guys got to take him to the healthcare unit and check him out. I can't just leave him in here." So they did, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. So they were sending him to the outside hospital, and the fire department ambulance does that. And they put him on the gurney, and as he was going out the gate, he said, "That guy raped me." We didn't know this motherfucker was raping all these motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
so the fucking...
Man, you're giving him new blood all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the internal affairs lieutenant calls me, and he's like, "Don't fucking put him in that cell with nobody else." I said, "Dude, I didn't know. I swear to God, I did not know."
So those guys are being quiet, all right?
Yeah, they said...
God.
Call me.
I mean, we were giving this guy extra trays and everything. He would come back from yard or whatever. He'd have 5 trays on his cell, and he would just eat them all up.
Yeah, he needed a lot of energy. He needed to keep up his protein intake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had a couple of those things. It's always. Then again, well, I'll tell you this one. There was a Navy SEAL locked up in the jail back when I was working in '93. He was in the Navy, and he committed murder. He killed a nurse and threw her off one of the ships into the ocean, killed her. So he was in prison, back to jail for whatever appeal, whatever. And he was there for a little while, maybe 8 months. And when you talked about you putting this guy in different cells with different people who were kind of troublemakers, and they were stopping. Well, that's what this guy would do. He would go into a cell. He was a white guy. He looked like an old white guy, not an old white guy. He looked like
easy.
He's about 50-something years old, and he was.
That includes all of us.
Yeah. Well, when I was 21, he was an old guy. So we put him in these cells, and no matter what cell it was it would straighten up immediately. Like if there was problems, it doesn't matter. It could be 10 young black dudes in the cell, and we put him in there. Things quiet out. And what happened was one time we put him in a cell where this kid started bucking against him, kind of a bulked up kid, about 21. And one day I look in and I open the trap on the cell, and I look in, and that dude is sitting, laying on the ground, the 21-year-old kid, with his arms crossed like this and his legs crossed, and his head's looking straight up with his eyes closed like this. I went, "What the? Hey, get off the ground." He wasn't moving. I was like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Hey," I call somebody. We go in the cell. The guy said, "Don't worry." He walks by me. He goes, "Don't worry, he ain't dead." I'm like, so he knocked him out, choked him out, did something. He said something to him, and it was just that. And not a fucking one of those other guys, his friends, said shit. Not one of his friends did nothing, and they give him a wide berth. He walked by, and someone said, "What'd you say?" And the kid goes, "I didn't say nothing." Like that, the respect he got because of whatever he did to him. He crossed this. I know he didn't fall like this. He fucking knocked him out, crossed his arms for you. He kind of posed him like a serial killer, and laid him in the middle. It was fucking awesome. The other guy we would do that with is we had a 250-pound easy a guy who dresses like a girl and
oh my god, yeah,
fucks guys. So what we would do is
no disrespect, Dobie.
We'd put him in the cell. The same thing would happen because he would chill everybody out in there because they would get relief, right, through his services. And if they didn't pay, he would whoop their ass. So either way,
he's getting ass either way.
Either way, they would chill out, and if they didn't keep straight, they were causing problems. He would keep the peace because he was an ex-football player, like he was just a badass. So that's funny that you should say that. Hound Dog said he was his own pimp, folks. Yeah, he was. He kept all the money. Yeah, and he did all the ass kicking. He was a one.
You got a choice: poke or choke. You pick.
Yeah.
Well, we used to tell him,
it is Rainbow Mountain there.
Fuck or fight, when they had cellies that didn't get along or whatever, they want to get the cell move, I'm going to whoop him or whatever. Well, fuck or fight because you ain't moving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that was a long time ago. You can't get by with that shit no more.
No, yeah.
Oh, on the streets, you can't hurt somebody's feelings anymore.
Oh, it came to the prison before it ever reached the street. Trust me.
Oh, really?
Sure.
But about 2012 maybe. It started with all that shit, man. And you got to call him, her, and all. Look, no, I'll call him inmate. Mm-hmm. I had a transgender fucker call me a bitch one day, and I just didn't know how to take that. You know what I mean? You don't even know what you are, and you're calling
me. You put me down. What are you doing?
Look in the mirror, motherfucker. It's
Right.
self-reflection. I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you putting me down or are you hitting on me? What? Tell me. I don't know.
Exactly. Are you sweet talking me now?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you flirting with me?
Exactly.
That's like California. Their transgenders didn't want to be housed with the males. So they housed them with the females, and the females started getting pregnant. So they had to get females.
And
that happened in Illinois.
And raped.
Yeah, and raped.
Yeah.
Happened in Illinois too.
Yeah.
That just makes explain the logic to me.
There's none. It's the liberal mindset of fucking weirdo. It makes no sense.
You can't. There's no way you can even understand that they would understand it's okay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And and when a judge rules that way with a black robe, who's supposed to call balls and strikes and know the law, is putting a man in a woman's prison. How the fuck do you, just because I say I'm a woman?
This is a great segue into our other podcast, Cuffs Off, which we always record after Bourbon and Badges.
That's true.
This is true.
So I was telling you guys about my sergeant.
I'm sorry. Hound Dog said.
I'm sorry, Hillbilly. Hound Dog interrupted us, producer.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I
was telling you about my sergeant, right?
Hang on a second. Hound Dog said he's the fucking producer. We'll run this show as long as we got to run this show till he says we should stop.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So slow. No, you fucking roll tonight.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Hillbilly.
But my sergeant was a writ officer. He was the one that would take inmates to court and stuff. And my sergeants kept getting sent over here, sent over there, or they didn't like being in SEG. So
what is SEG?
Segregation. That's the prison within the prison. So if you're a bad guy while you're in prison, you go to segregation.
Or if you're in a Rainbow Mountain gang, you go to segregation.
No, you go to protective custody for that.
Protective custody. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I had known Terrell Pork for a long time, and he had put in for sergeant, and he came over to pick up one of his writs to take to court one day in F House. And I said, if you make sergeant, I got picked a litter and you're coming over here. And he said, it is what it is, Lieutenant. His first day, I told you guys that we started at 7:00. And in F House, you had to start running. There was 400 plus inmates in there. So we would run them to yard first thing, even before count was done. Our count would be done, but not everybody else's. Anyway, his first day, it was about 7:15. And an officer comes up to me and he's like, So his first day, 15 minutes as a sergeant, there's a guy hanging himself in like cell 109 or something.
No shit.
That his first week, there was like 8 people that hung themselves. None of them did it successfully because they just wanted attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
So when you say
so he had to deal with a lot of shit his first fucking week.
Damn.
What's that?
You say you had 400 inmates in that cell in that
Cell house.
section.
Cell house.
Cell house. How many officers were working that with you?
I think we had 12 or 13, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you're way outnumbered.
I mean, that F House, man, I wish I had videos of F House because some people called it controlled chaos, but I don't know that it was really controlled. We just got lucky,
Just
you
kidding
know,
us.
because of any given time, if they organized, they would have had us.
Sure.
You
It's
know,
a numbers game. Numbers game. Yeah.
yeah, and we had a tower in the middle of it, you know, with a 12 gauge and a mini, but you know, if they want us, they're going to get us.
Yeah, because the second they start, they're already sticking you with whatever shiv they got, and you're a pincushion before they can even get a shot off from the tower to really help you.
Yeah.
You're locked in there with them. You have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That's
what I was saying. Like, cool producer in our ear saying everything.
Boss man's pulling the plug.
He's pulling the plug on us here in a minute. What?
All right, here, Billy. This is the time we give you, man. You got any shout outs or anything you want to do or anything you want to add right quick? Anything like that? We'll get off.
You know, Rod, real quick. I want to just specifically to you because I've heard you and before in the past.
Listen to the lieutenant suck up to the captain. Go ahead.
No. That ain't what this is.
You keep quiet, slick sleeve.
You guys have discussed how, you know, in prison you should lock them up and throw away the key. Well, I understand that the concept, but it's a bad concept. Because if you don't give these young crooks some kind of tools when they get out, they're just going to keep doing the same shit and keep coming back and keep coming back. But if you give them, a lot of these guys want help. They really do, you know. So if you give them a tool, then you can help them out and you won't have the same problems.
I got no problem with that. I mostly save my my fire for the repeat offenders. At some point, I think there's, for instance, pedophiles. I agree. Yeah.
Hey,
Rod Nader says negative, no parole. I'd rather put you back and put a bullet in your head.
They should be.
If you don't mind, we're gonna go a little long on this. You mind, producer? Yeah, let's get in that here, Billy. Let's talk about the rehabilitation because we talked about a little bit out back at the conference, the Renegade Pig conference was at. You started touching on that a little bit, so get in that.
Okay, so
rehabilitation.
So like, it was kind of messed up in the 90s. Everything was messed up in the 90s because you had motherfuckers with 2 natural lives that were literally getting law degrees for nothing. You're not doing it. And I don't think you should give any crook a law degree. If they get out and they want to go to law school, great. But I do think.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they required to have access to a law library? Or is that still?
Oh yes, absolutely, yes. But that doesn't mean that's to help fight their case. But if you give them like building trades, say you teach them how to be a bricklayer, or an electrician, or a cook, or a janitor, they got something that they can do when they get out. If y'all understand what I'm saying.
Sure. No, I agree 100%. There's some that are non-savable. And like I said before, the pedophiles and stuff. Like, it's like trying to tell me, okay, Rod Nader, you're attracted to women. You got to stop being attracted to women. It's not going to happen. It's not going to. And if a guy's attracted to kids, he's not going to stop being attracted to kids.
Never.
I think
never.
Right? Yeah. The last one, there's a case in California right now where they're about to
oh my God. You had to say California, didn't you?
Yeah. And he said himself, he goes, quote, this is a quote from the inmate. I have it under control. I still have the urges, but I have them under control. He's literally saying he's still attracted to young children. He raped 8, by the way, 1 boy and 7 girls. And he still has the urge, but he has it under control. And my thing is, one mistake, and that's another child's life just ruined from one. It's not worth the risk to give this guy a break. In my opinion, it's just fucking not.
No,
I agree. So we had a program in Illinois for sexually deviant criminals. Okay. So when they got out, this was in the 90s, of course, it was a good thing back then that they did. So if you went to prison for any kind of sex crime and the mental health people didn't feel that you were rehabilitated, when you got out, you didn't get out. You went to Department of Human Services and you did time there until they felt that you were cured or whatever, no matter what it was.
That's interesting.
But rapists are the same way. They're going to keep raping.
Yeah. I heard there's a stat out there that says a rapist gets caught for his first rape after he's raped 8 times. On the average. Yeah. He gets away with 8 before he gets caught for the first one. It's never a first timer. Yeah. So that's the one thing I say. Nah. And I don't say lock him up, throw away key. I say give him death penalty, just put a bullet in her head. Like it's over, dude. If you're raping kids, it's over. Like
I agree.
You're no good. Completely. You're no good. So
yeah.
Well, Hillbilly, we appreciate you being on the show, man. That was very
it's very interesting.
Very good.
Yeah.
There's a lot more, but hey, if you guys are out this way, hit me up because I'm friends with the warden right now. Stateville's closed, but I just took a tour in there back in like October or something, down to the electric chair and everything. And
sounds like a road trip.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Hey, let me know ahead of time so I can talk to her and make sure it's good.
Can we stay in your garage?
Yeah,
that'd be cool because on that you read that text, Laura. I got when I went to Juliet, we toured everything in there, and then we went out and we got to California. We did Alcatraz, so I'm into that.
Okay,
shit, man. I like seeing the different prisons and stuff, man. That's cool shit. Yeah.
And Stateville's extremely intimidating first time you go in there.
I bet it's scary.
And you look up, man, and it's 5 floors, and there's bars across there, and it's so fucking loud.
Crazy.
It's like holy shit, man. It's it's cool, but it's like fuck.
Think about it. When that place was full, it's like nuts. Like everybody, fuck you. It's like Jesus. You're like
the Larry Hoover thing we talked about earlier. The Larry Hoover documentary is Larry Hoover, Kings of Gangsters. Available on Apple TV, Peacock, and Prime Video.
I'm telling you, that is awesome.
That's straight from our producer.
Check that out. If he got the wrong one, then I'll deal with him later.
All right. Well, I know I enjoyed it. Man. That's good stories, man. I appreciate you being on.
Yeah, man. And Hillbilly, you're welcome back anytime. Man. Just let us know when you want to come on.
Cheers,
and
brother.
we'll love to have you.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah,
Cheers to you, fellas.
Cheers to you, brother. Don't forget, folks, we're going to have cuffs off right now. We're already juiced up, bourbon flowing, beers. So cuffs off is next. We're going to sign off here and start the next show where we can let loose a little bit of rants and politics, which is right up my fucking alley. You can find this podcast,
correct, you can find this podcast on all your listening platforms, YouTube and Rumble. Now, Cuffs Off is only on Rumble. Hey, did somebody tell Billy he's excused?
No, Hillbilly's used to being in charge, so he does what the fuck he wants. He got him a cig. He's load him up something.
I listen well. Don't mean I obey, but I listen.
Yeah, Hillbilly, stay on. Don't hang up, Hillbilly. Stay on, please.
You told me yesterday.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a leak.